Welcome to Keeping Up with the West, episode something in the teens. This episode is George Beasy Doesn't Care About Black Peasy. And my name is Eric, Easy, Wheezy, Fashizi, Navizi, and joined as always by Bradley Delano Hartland. How's it going, Brad?
I'm keeping it breezy.
Keeping it breezy. What is your middle name, Brad? Thomas?
Seriously?
No, what is it? William?
What?
What's your middle name?
You don't know? Thomas.
It is. I was right. I guessed. Didn't know I was
First
right.
try.
All right. So we have. Well, second. I said Delano at first. I was way off. Let's see.
That's what it originally was going to be.
We have a special guest today on the PZ.
Is this our first guest on this podcast?
This is our first guest. Well, the ghost of Kanye West is always lurking around these parts. They say sometimes in the dead of night you can hear him. Rapping through a clenched jaw. I don't know. I'm off my game. Somebody should have picked this up for me later. So Sergio Marzatelli, how's it going?
Pretty good. I'm really honored to be the first guest. I think you made a good choice because not many
It's not a fucking book report. We're fine.
Welcome to the podcast. But Kanye West was born on June 8th, 1977. And I was born on June 8th, 1987. So I feel like once a decade we get a great person like Kanye West.
And do you have a David Bowie album cover that prophesizes your birth and rise to power?
It's actually, if you look at the College Dropout in the background, there's like some stuff in there.
Yeah, which came out when you were
Sergio just never finished college, so he thinks that's his prophecy.
I have a bachelor's degree in sports management. I did drop out of college, though. Late registration, my whole freshman year I listened to late registration, then I dropped out my sophomore year.
You did it in reverse. Well, so today we're going to talk about, we don't have too much new Kanye stuff that's happened since the Ellen debacle, but we're going to do
debacle. That was an appearance, not a debacle.
It was an altercation. It was an altercation. So we're going to do a classic Kanye clips, all with C's, because I tried the other letter and it didn't really work out so well. So we're going to do another classic Kanye clip, and this one is one that all of us know, which is George Bush doesn't care about black people, which is most people think of this clip and they just think of, oh, Kanye said George Bush doesn't care about black people when discussing Hurricane Katrina, but there's so much more to this clip that is unbelievable. That gets it's all funny and amazing, but it gets overshadowed by his mic dropping line at the very end. So to set the scene, I'm sure we're all just barely old enough to really, I think, notice the change in a post 9/11 world, where it was all American flags everywhere and crazy patriotism and like you have to support everything that this government is doing, otherwise you are just thrown to the wolves, kind of thing. And Hurricane Katrina was one of the first things. Like, what year is this clip from?
2005.
2005. Okay, so
because I lived through Katrina, that's how I know that.
Oh Jesus!
It hit Miami first before it hit New Orleans. I'm sick of those people in New Orleans bitching about Katrina.
So, a good way to start.
America doesn't care about Miami, and
yeah, exactly.
Man. Well, there was this was I guess the Iraq War starts in 2003, and it took a few years before people started souring on it, and this those kind of came in so the first moments of dissent again after this crazy amount of patriotism. Combined with the lacking of support for the Iraq War as it dragged on, but also with the shitty way that Katrina was handled in New Orleans. And so during a Red Cross pledge drive, they were having all these celebrities come up, and this one had a pairing of Kanye West, the good boy of rap, who had two low-profile altercations before, or whatever Brad called it before this, where they were at live concerts that were reported on but weren't necessarily caught on video. So the world had not been exposed to this Kanye. This was like the world's first glimpse into holy shit Kanye.
This is pre-late registration. This is just college dropout.
Yep, this is he is the good boy of rap. He's making rap not gangster. And if you look at him in this clip, he's wearing like a polo and nice khakis.
Yep.
And he's paired with Mike Myers, who everyone knows, the comedian from Saturday Night Live, Wayne's World. But he's also, I don't know if you guys know this, he's a staunch Republican.
Is he? I didn't know that.
This made it, to me, because when I first saw this clip, that's what I kept thinking. I was like, that is fucking hilarious. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll play parts of the clip, we'll stop it and talk about it as we go, and then we can, unpack it a little afterwards and be all good. So I'm going to hit play. Anytime you guys jump in, you let me know, and I'll do a small amount of production for the first time in my podcasting career. Let's do this. All right.
With the breach of 3 levees protecting New Orleans, the landscape of the city has changed dramatically, tragically, and perhaps irreversibly. There's now over 25 feet of water where there was once city streets and thriving neighborhoods. I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. If you see a white family, it says they're looking for food. And it's been 5 days.
Listen to how nervous his voice is.
You could tell he's very he's very serious.
He's very emotional.
Yeah. A lot of that comes from his mom. You know what I mean? Like his mom was pretty revolutionary back in the '60s, during the civil rights movement and stuff. So I think he got a lot of that from her. But I also just wanted to say, listening to Mike Myers talk serious like that, I was just picturing Dr. Evil's voice in.
Yeah, which is I didn't realize this until much later. That's just an impression of Lorne Michaels, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It just hit me one day. So I theorize that going into this, he knew he was going to say something emotional, but I think he knew he was going to drop the line, George Bush doesn't care about black people.
That was a line he came up with. Yeah, he just needed to get there.
I feel like that's and I think that might be why he's a little nervous, because he's like, I'm about to, he knows the consequences of his action, and this event might be the catalyst that let him know, I'm bulletproof.
Look what happened to Dixie Chicks. What was it, a year before or 2 years before? Yeah,
Dixie Chicks just said, we disagree with our president and that this war is bullshit. And they got
over.
Yep, their CDs burned. Everyone banned all their shit. It was crazy. And
that's because they have very different fan bases.
That's true. Yeah, country versus okay. Yeah. All right, let's keep it going. Also, I love what he's saying here. I think it's very moving and meaningful. All right.
Because most of the people are black. And even for me to complain about, I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before I've even given a donation. So now I'm calling my business manager right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give, and just to imagine if
Why do you think they didn't cut at this point? Because he's obviously off script.
It's a Red Cross donation thing, and he's talking about how he can donate the most possible. And there's a great Kanye moment, because Kanye is willing to pull back the curtain more than any other celebrity in the history of ever. And when he said that, I didn't understand that the first time I watched this clip because I didn't know enough about show business. When he said, I want to call my business manager to see what the most I can give is, I didn't understand how business managers handle money, as far as entire celebrities sometimes will sign over all of their money to the business manager to do with whatever within their best interest. So Dane Cook got $10 million stolen from him. But with Kanye, he's just straight up saying I thought he was trying to figure out what's the most I can give for, I don't know, am allowed to get. I don't know what I thought, but he's just saying he's going to tell me how much I can give before it financially cripples me. That's my thought on it anyway. What do you think, Brad? Anything yet?
No, nothing yet.
He's waiting for the big moment.
He has a propensity. Yeah, okay, gotcha. All right, here we go.
If I was down there, and those are my people down there. So anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people, the the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, the Red Cross is doing everything they can.
What you didn't see was Mike Myers the whole time has been nodding in agreement, and then when he said the system is set up to help poor people this slowly, he turned to him for a brief second and gave him this look, like, fuck.
Well, also, I'm starting to realize in this, like, you can hear that cadence of, like, when he does interviews and he's going off on, like, a epic Kanye rant, he has the same cadence here, and I never noticed it before. Because a lot of people say that whole thing's an act, like when he goes on Sway or whatever and he does all that shit. But it's like, no, he's doing that there, and this is obviously not, like, you know what I mean, an act, and it's the exact same cadence.
We're watching the birth of something special.
Yeah.
Everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And here's my favorite celebrity moment of this whole thing.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage.
He goes back on. Mike Myers goes on script with a deep sigh.
I mean, there's nothing else you can do.
What can you do? He's completely off script, and he's like just ranting and like stumbling over his words, and then Mike Myers is like, "So yeah, if you'd like to make a donation."
And then, well, the subtext of this is Mike Myers disagrees with like everything that he's saying to an extreme degree. All right, here we go.
The survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all. George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Cut to Chris Tucker's face.
And then that's when they cut to Chris Tucker. Like, what? I don't even know if he. I don't imagine he heard. Maybe he did, they just cut to him way early because they're like.
They're just like, yeah, okay, all the other stuff you said before, but George Bush not caring about black people, we don't know about that.
It's like it feels the way that Kanye, like, it's the perfect beat that he waited to deliver that line. To put the period on that sentence that he and Mike Myers both said together. It feels like they collaborated. It's like it's the weirdest Ebony and Ivory cover ever.
It's perfect.
Well, here's something that I just noticed on this current viewing was that when you hear the thing that makes me laugh so hard when Mike Myers comes back in, I mean, it's the situation, but also I think it's the juxtaposition of Kanye so speaking from the heart, and then hearing someone read off a teleprompter.
Yeah.
That is the most genuine I'm not saying what he was reading was ingenuine, but like as far as tone of voice, the most genuine to ingenuine tones of voice like I've ever heard.
Like the two of them together at the same time. Yeah,
it's just like that doesn't. Teleprompter versus Kanye off the cuff is insane. But that is so that line, I didn't even bother to do the research on it as far as the immediate aftermath. Because I remember looking it up a while ago, and I think the immediate aftermath was just lost to time because it so quickly became like, this is hilarious. Yeah. And, so I'm sure there was backlash, but I remember watching an interview. It might have been years later, might have just been months later, but it wasn't that long. It was within an album cycle later of this. And the interviewer asked him and was just like, so what about that? And he laughs, and he was like, yeah, I got emotional. Yeah. So like he was already shaking it off like it was nothing, but I think this taught him he was bulletproof.
Well, it's funny that he got a bigger backlash from the Taylor Swift thing than from this. Like what?
Which happened?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like a year, everyone people still hate him, but for a year, he was like persona non grata in like the celebrity community. Everyone hated him. And, like, actually, wasn't that right before 808s and Heartbreaks? And then 808s and Heartbreaks, like, nobody even listened to it.
Yeah.
It was a great album.
Well, when did the tide kind of turn against Bush? Because, like, right after 9/11, obviously, everyone's like, yeah, America, rah, rah.
Well,
but then it was a very strong...
Oh, sorry, yeah.
But then, like, it was a very strong anti-Bush sentiment.
Yeah, I feel like that might have been around the time. Because like I remember I would go to Canada to visit family and stuff, and everyone was always like, your president's a fucking idiot. Like every person I talked to when they found out I was from the US, they all hated him. So I like saw it like it was like during 9/11. Like it was like like a month after 9/11, and they hated him already. So
yeah, that's like I know that there was an international disdain for him from like day one, but on top of that, he got reelected and won the popular vote for the first time in 2004.
Yeah.
So like there was a good 45+% of the country who hated him, but that was like
right.
That was like always how it was, but it wasn't like a real everyone hates Bush. And if you remember in the 2008 election, all the Republican candidates were doing, they were competing over who could separate themselves from George Bush the most. Like
right.
With the recession and the housing crisis in 2000, what was it? Yeah, like early 2008, and even in 2007 when it was 6 and 7, when it was really like, oh no, this Iraq war is going nowhere, and all the reports came back of no weapons of mass destruction. Those last couple of years were when it was just one of the lowest approval ratings of a president like ever. So that was a main backlash.
Like 05.
Nah, I'm telling you. Yeah.
I just pulled up his like a graph of his approval ratings throughout his 2 terms.
I was just talking out of my ass.
It's crazy.
What happened?
It's crazy to look at. Like the first few months, he like hovers between 50 and 60%, and then 9/11 it skyrockets immediately up to 90%, and then just gradually declines from there until somewhere like right around 30 when he left office.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
his legacy is not that bad though. Like now, I think it's because he's like silly and like weird and goofy.
Okay, his legacy, which is as far as what he did in office, god damn it, like that really wrecked a lot of like an entire generation or like a couple decades of like potential economic parallel.
Yeah, totally. All of it.
Well, that's what actually I'm doing okay. Thanks, Bush. Thanks, Bush.
Fuck you, Ray.
No, like I don't know. I think but I agree with you. I love that he is the doofy ex-president who draws pictures of puppies in his spare time. Like, and with no 9/11, that's what he is. Like, we have Gerald Ford reborn.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who takes? Okay, let me ask you this: who takes office in 2004 if there's no 9/11? Like, is it Hillary Clinton? No, because she didn't run until 8. Who was running? Like,
it was
John Kerry.
So yeah, but I believe that he only that
Howard Dean.
I believe that selection of Democrats happened because of it was Bush going against a president going against Bush with what had already happened in the last 4 years. Like, so I have this theory where just like teams, political parties go into rebuilding years, and they just kind of go like that year for the Democrats, I feel like they were like, we're not going to waste this shining star of Obama, who was the rising star in the party. We're not going to throw Hillary Clinton at him. We're not going to throw any of these big name people. We're going to throw whoever, whatever we can, because we're probably not going to win, and we might as well just wait until we can really crush it in 4 years. And I think that's also what I think the Republicans were doing this year. I think that's what they did the last election too, but like this year too. And I think that's partially how Trump got the nomination, because they really were just like, all right, here's whatever. Like, this is going to be a rough one for us. We're not really in favor right now. And then Trump was able to go like, oh, I actually have some charisma, and steal their fucking party.
Yeah. You think there's
wild card bitches?
Hispanic rapper?
Yeah, he's the wild card. What's up, sir?
Is there going to be a Hispanic rapper that's going to come out and be like, Donald Trump doesn't care about Hispanic people?
And but the difference is he's going to go and be like, I don't.
Yeah, you're right. I don't. Fuck him.
You know the latest thing that
loser.
If Trump loses, we should go back and do a retrospective podcast on all the crazy shit that he did, because like right now it's not fucking funny.
Right, and it's sad that we have to say if he loses.
I know. Yep. Well, so
I would rather Trump than Hillary Clinton, and I'm a lifelong Democrat. I think Hillary Clinton is Satan.
You're
At least it'd be funny, man.
Oh God.
See, well, that's the thing. It's funny if he loses because then I don't know. It's like well, he did this. So here's the thing he's been doing recently. That if he like dropped out of the race tomorrow, just kidding. Watch The Apprentice this fall on whatever channel, and I would start saying like I love him. I love this person. Like, because he's Kanye, but with way too much power. Like, that's Jesus Christ. Actually, no, because Kanye, I think, would try to help people. I mean, granted, we'd have, like,
in his own Kanye way.
The unemployment rate would double, but, like, everyone would be in the fucking freshest clothes.
He'd be like, everybody
all over uniforms.
Yeah. Well, with Trump, so what he's been doing lately, and somebody actually made I don't know if it's a comedian or just somebody on Twitter made it, or it was Reddit, made a joke about this, but I remember noticing it, that he was just, he's just been calling press conferences to berate the media who show up to his press conferences.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like what my wife does when she's mad and wants to fight, is she'll like set up a scenario where I can't leave. Like, she'll wait to bring up an argument till we're on a drive somewhere, or if we're both like doing something with the kid, and I can't just like walk out of the room. I'm like, God damn it.
In your relationship, if your wife is Donald Trump, does that make you Chris Christie?
I have been, dude. I was so worried, like that she was gonna think I was like cheating on her because she found that $60 tab from Buffalo Wild Wings on her credit card, and it's like, no, I'm just getting fat. I'm just going Chris Christie.
When you said that about cheating on her, I thought about that joke that you were telling me about.
You gonna burn a bit on this podcast, bro?
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you, this is a private conversation between me and you right now.
Oh, that's right.
That joke you told me about. Yeah.
I got so trashed last time I talked to Brad that like we were talking about stand-up stuff, and I started telling him, like, in this scenario, me and him talking off camera, but in Hangouts talking about not Kanye, because that's what this podcast is. Holy shit! But like, I just started telling him like bit concepts of like new stuff I had, and obviously, even if it was good, even if they were good ideas, they weren't going to get laughs here. So then I started getting insecure, and I've been drinking, and so I started telling him bits that I knew that worked really well, and they still weren't getting laughs because it's not in the scenario, and I was just saying them to him at like a mile a minute, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And I woke up the next day, like, I don't think I've ever had like drunken regret because I've never really done anything really that stupid. And I woke up the next morning like, what the fuck was I thinking? Did I tell him? Did I tell him that bit? Oh my god! No, and I knew that because there was a bit I was saying today to myself to like remember it, and just to keep it fresh in my mind. And I was like, oh, and it was that same bit you're talking about, Serge. And I was like, oh, didn't Brad give me a note on that? And I tried it, and I was like, oh, that wording sounds... And I was like, did I tell him that fucking bit? God damn it. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, so this has been a Kanye West podcast. Classic Kanye clips. Keezy Weezy Beezy doesn't care about Bleezy Peasy for Sheezy. And hope you enjoyed it. Do we just say bye?
Bye. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, yeah, anytime. You can find Serge at Serge Has the Urge on all sorts of social media, and you can find all sorts of podcasts on erictriestoohard.com. And by the time, you know what, whether the show's announced or not, I think by the time I put this one up, the show will be announced. I'm doing my first real stand-up gig with like a bunch of local comics in Baltimore at the Auto Bar, which is a sweet rock club where a lot of bands play, and so we're doing kind of a, start your own scene type thing where got a bunch of different comics, everybody's doing some decent time, headlined by Mike Moran, who's been on this podcast a bunch, really funny guy, and some other great, actually some other past, it's going to be the first Eric Tries Too Hard presents, stand-up.
That's awesome.
Whatever. Yeah, so that's the first one. We're going to see how that goes, and hopefully we can, keep that going and do more, but I'll plug that, and that'll be on June 22nd, which is a Wednesday evening, I think at 9. Let me check my email to make sure. No, make sure this is confirmed. No. All right. Well, I will catch you guys later, but stay on the line because I'll talk to you in a minute. All right. Goodbye, listener viewers. Peace.